Sue, thank you so much for joining us here on our news show. We'll start simple, and can you just tell us about this project?
Sure. So today we are launching a new website aimed at helping people who are experiencing sexual harassment at work in Canada. And it is a labor of love that has been years, 3, maybe 4 years in the making. And hundreds of people, experts, researchers, lawyers, sexual harassment experts, and mental health experts have come together to help us make this site.
Well, this sounds like a really incredible resource, and I'm sure many people will appreciate something like this. So why did you and the team feel that doing an online reporting system would be the best way to solicit some of these stories?
Yeah, the reason we picked it on the internet was because when we started our research process, what we found, we were extremely surprised. What we found is most people, when they get sexually harassed at work, they only tell 1 or 2 other people total. And a large number of people told us in our surveys that they had literally never told anyone that they had been sexually harassed until they answered our survey and they told us. And so what we found is people aren't talking to other people in their real lives. What they're doing instead is they're going on the internet privately, anonymously, late at night on their cell phone, whatever, right? Looking for information and looking for advice. And what they find there isn't always all that helpful because a lot of the information that they find is American because most of the information in English on the internet is American. That's not very relevant for people in this country because the laws are different. And we also found that a lot of what they're getting just isn't that helpful. So we did a really elaborate user-centered design process. We did a lot of surveys of people who'd experienced sexual harassment, and we asked them what they had found helpful when they were being harassed, and then we tried to give them that, right? So we think it's going to be really helpful for people because we really did base it on what they told us they wanted and needed.
And Sue, I know everything is just sort of officially launched today, but what's the response maybe been like since you guys have talked about this and started promoting this?
It's been pretty awesome. We've been in soft launch mode since December. So we launched in December. We targeted the official launch for today, but we've been out there and available to people, still tweaking the site and improving it, but it's been available for a couple months now. And we have a feedback survey on the site, and the feedback is fantastic. What we're hearing is 100% of survey respondents tell us they think the site will be useful to people, and 92% tell us they would recommend it to a friend, which is really important to us. And we asked people, if they would name like 3 adjectives that the site feels like to them. And the words that are coming up the most often are honest, warm, and friendly. And that's exactly what we wanted it to be, right? We didn't want it to be like a bureaucratic site or a legalistic site where you'd have to have a PhD to understand it, or it would just be kind of dry and not very accessible. We tried really hard to make it like your older sister. You're sitting on the sofa with someone, you're telling them what happened to you, and they're giving you, we hope, good advice that's relevant and honest and will actually be useful.
Well, Sue, thank you so much for coming on and sharing a bit of what this is. Again, I think this is going to be a really incredible resource, and it sounds like people are already super appreciative of this. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.